happy to guide you to a healthier you. So feel free to come to our office. Topic today: how not to sleep and be healthy. Really? That's a little tongue-in-cheek. There's no such thing as that. Actually, the title should be How to Not Sleep and Shorten Your Life. So I hope this presentation is interesting enough to you, and I hope it puts you to sleep. And you're going to understand why this sleep is so critical. I'm going to skim through it, but sleep is actually so very important in our health. And I think I touched a little bit on it the last time we were talking about our immune system and sleep. By the way, this information I'm presenting is coming from Dr. Matthew Walker, his book on why we sleep. Excellent book. I'll be sure to put some links referencing this book. But it is really an awesome read, I think. Of course, I'm a nerd, but I think if you have issues, it's well worth the read. So think about it. Sleep. We spend 1/3 of our life sleeping. So that means a 30-year-old has spent 10 years of his life sleeping. A 60-year-old has spent 20 years of his life sleeping. A 75-year-old will have spent 25 years sleeping, or at least that's what it should be. And we're going to talk about that. So again, I'm referencing Dr. Matthew Walker, researcher from University of California in Berkeley, I believe. But he has a website. Once again, I'll put it up, I'll reference it later on, sleepdiplomat.com, and his book, Why We Sleep, Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams. So, first of all, ideally, we should be getting between 7 to 9 hours of sleep daily. Think about it. Do you get 7 to 9 hours? Today, 2 out of 3 are getting less than the recommended 8 hours of sleep. 1 out of 3 is getting 6 hours or less. And the average sleep is 6.5 hours of sleep. Now, this is significant. This is bad. And I'll give you some statistics, and you can look them up, see if it's true. But less than 7 hours of sleep really demolishes your immune system significantly. It more than doubles, listen to this, more than doubles your risk of cancer. It can determine whether or not you develop Alzheimer's disease. You all remember our President Ronald Reagan, Prime Minister of England Margaret Thatcher. They both bragged a lot about how little they slept, how little they had to sleep. Well, unfortunately, both of them died tragic deaths with Alzheimer's. Could lack of sleep have been the cause? Well, a lot of studies would suggest that. Our blood sugars, with just 1 week of inadequate sleep, will make you reach pre-diabetic levels. Shorter sleep will block our arteries. It makes them more brittle, contributes to psychiatric conditions. Lack of sleep creates a desire to eat more and contributes to weight gain. In fact, without adequate sleep, if you diet and you don't sleep well, yes, you'll lose weight, but you tend to lose weight not from fat, but from lean body mass. That's our muscles. So in summary, the shorter you sleep, the shorter your lifespan. And not only lifespan, but we're also talking about quality of life. So physical and mental disease is increasing among our sleep-deprived countries. Do you think I have your attention now? So keep listening, and we're going to go into a little bit more. Here is a stat that really blew my mind. And I didn't realize this, but there is one death in this country every hour as a result of sleep-deprived drivers. In actuality, sleepy drivers or sleep-deprived drivers are responsible for more vehicular accidents than alcohol and drugs combined. Isn't that crazy? I had no idea. And here's a big difference between the drunk driver and the sleep-deprived driver. Drunk drivers have a delayed response. Sleep drivers have no response. For example, they come up to a situation, a drunk driver comes up to a situation where he has to stop. He goes, I gotta stop, and he steps on the brake. Whereas a sleep driver has no response, comes up to a situation where he has to stop, and he can just blank out, full speed, and collide. Here's another thing that's interesting. Typically, drunk drivers realize that they're under the influence. They know they're under the influence of alcohol. They may not make good decisions, but they know. Sleepy drivers do not realize that they're sleep deprived. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So sleep is the most effective thing that we can use and do to reset our brain and our body. I had mentioned before, I said, you know what, sleep is actually one of the 3 pillars of health, a very important pillar. There's nutrition, there's exercise, and there's sleep. You know, Mother Nature took 3.5 million years to develop this healing phenomena, if you will. But here we go, being human, we think we can outsmart Mother Nature. You know, here, when have you heard this? I'm sure we all have. I know. You know what I'm going to do to sleep? I'm just going to take a sleeping pill, or maybe 2. We're so of the mindset that pills or medicine are the answers to our woes. We have pills to wake up. We have pills to lose weight. We have pills for depression. We have pills for anxiety, heartburn, pain, stomach aches. You name it. There's a pill to fix it. But what about sleeping pills? I'm going to take sleeping pills to fix this sleeping problem. Well, let's talk about that. And again, this is from Dr. Walker's book. Sleeping pills are sedatives. In essence, the way a sleeping pill works is it turns off the neurons in your brain, and it keeps them from firing. So you feel that you're asleep, but there is a difference between sedative sleep and natural sleep. A big difference. They don't compare. Sedative sleep is not really restorative in nature. What it lacks is a precise stages of sleep that natural sleep provides us with. In fact, if you've ever taken a sleeping pill, many times you'll wake up feeling groggy or tired. Well, why is that? Well, because you were sedated. And being sedated deprives you of the natural stages of sleep, especially deep REM sleep. But REM sleep is vital in restoring our brain. For simplicity's sake, it would be like rebooting our brain like you would reboot a computer. There is some really other scary statistics comparing the chance of death for those people that take sleeping pills versus those that do not. Let me share this with you. I'm going to get my cheat sheet. And Let me go over this with you. But this was a crazy statistic. So basically he says if you take half to 18 sleeping pills in 1 year, you increase your chance of death by 3.5 times. If you take 18 to 132 pills in 1 year, you increase your chance of death 4.5 times. And if you take more than 132 sleeping pills a year, you increase your chance of death, get this, 5.5 times. And when you think about it, there's 365 days in the year, and there's people that take it every single day. So what in the world are we doing? Sleeping pills are addictive and not without dangerous side effects. In a 2.5-year study, they show that the risk of cancer during that study with just mild to moderate use of sleeping pills increased the incidence of cancer by 60%. There were higher infection rates, higher risk of death from heart attacks, strokes. This is no bueno. So, in summary, poor natural sleep affects our health, affects our wellness, from weight gain to diabetes to cancer and ultimately death. So what do we do? What do we do? Well, first of all, let's not think that we can hack this $3.5 million year process that Mother Nature put together. It was a reason for it. So what I would do is I would say, well, look at the 12 steps for sleep. In actuality, we have a brochure. Come into our office. I believe that this is also on our website. But look at the 12 steps for sleeping. I also recommend the book that Dr. Walker wrote. We'll put links so you can see where it is and you can follow it. But really, if there is any one thing that you should do and that you should start, according to Dr. Walker, is put yourself on a schedule. What do we mean by that? Go to sleep at the same time. Wake up at the same time, even on weekends. Try this for a month or two and see how you feel. So here's another big one. And have you all seen this? Right here. This is not a good thing to be looking at when you're going to sleep. In fact, it's recommended that you stay away from blue light, which is what our cell phones eliminate. Stay away from televisions, which eliminate blue light, and you should stop it like 3 hours before you go to sleep. If you really need to use the phone, you really need to do social media and look at it, like probably most of us do, well, then use some blue light filters. There's some blue light filters that are built into the phones. You can get some blue light filtering glasses, but in actuality, if you expose your eyes to blue light, you're going to suspend the formation of your natural melatonin, and you'll find that it's going to take 3 hours before you catch up to the melatonin levels in the way it should be. Again, it's not just our telephones, it's also television, but consider winding down, consider relaxing activities before you go to sleep. Go ahead and read a book, go ahead and use dim yellow light, maybe take a warm shower, sleep in a cool room, but those are just some of the things. There's so much more I can say about sleep. I apologize for taking so long, but I think this is a serious subject. I recently listened to an interview that Joe Rogan did with Matthew Walker. I would recommend it. Look it up. I believe you can see it on YouTube. But look it up. It's a great interview. A couple of hours maybe, but lots of great information. Joe Rogan has a way of interviewing, and yeah, his language will be a little bit strong at times, but the message is really great. Remember, we're here to help you with your dental needs. We're well versed in sleep. We're well versed in jaw problems and TMJ that very, very, very often is related to sleep. We're happy to work with you addressing your issues. We work very closely with your medical doctors. I will have the same video on YouTube. I will put out some references. Be sure to listen to that interview with Joe Rogan. I think you'll like it. And follow us, please, on social media, YouTube, our web channel. Be sure to share us, like us with all your friends and family. I hope this presentation puts you to sleep. Dr. Alfred Marcus, Marcus Integrative Dental. Thank you.